seated. So just a reminder, I am Audrey Williams. I am a dietetic intern at Missouri State University, coming to you from Hy-Vee, your local Hy-Vee here in Springfield. And today we're going to be going over the FODMAP friendly snacking and just having some snacks and recipes for on the go. So let's get my screen shared. All right, and I would just like to remind you guys too that I do have the chat pulled up, but because of some limitations, because of Zoom, and then also just because of I just have one computer, I might not be able to see questions right away, but I do have Amanda Allen, who is the dietitian here at Hy-Vee, on with me, and she might be looking at chat as well if she has time, and we're going to be going over a whole bunch of different recipes. Yeah, say hi to Amanda, everyone. She's great. I promise. And we're going to be going over different recipes to bring and snacks to bring with you for snacking on the go, as well as a great granola bar recipe at the end of this class. So let me just minimize just so I can see. There we go. So just a little bit about this presentation. We're really going to be going over a little bit about portion sizes because they do matter. Some snack ideas to bring along with you. Like I said, a great granola bar recipe at the end of this presentation. And again, ask some questions along the way. They really do mean a lot to us, and we want to answer any questions that you guys might have regarding the FODMAP diet or anything that is presented during this time. Okay. So before we really delve in, I want you guys to picture this. You're out shopping for yourself or you're running errands and the time gets away from you. Say, 3, 4, 5 hours go by and it doesn't seem like that much time, but that much time has gone by. And you're hungry and you don't have anything in the car with you. And say you're on the FODMAP diet and you're either in the elimination phase or you're in the reintroduction phase. And you really don't want to jeopardize your diet by going to a fast food place or any other place that may cause some issues with bloating, cramping, and just overall pain. So what do you do? I know this can be a situation that many might find themselves in. And I want you guys, because of this class, you may have some great ideas and options for things to keep with you in the car so that this situation doesn't happen. So let's get into it. So portion sizes, do they matter? Yes, 100%. Of course, we're going to have foods that are on either on the very extreme side. So some foods are going to be that red light foods, and that's going to be like onion, garlic, and honey, foods that are really going to upset the stomach and the gut. And then, of course, there are some foods that are green light foods, where you can really have as much as you want without having any issues. But many of these foods on the FODMAP diet are in the middle, and this is because of portion sizes. And a lot of these foods are in the yellow zone, and this is just because of portion sizes. And we want to use apps. Like I mentioned last week, I mentioned the FODMAP A to Z and then that Monash app. I'm going to be sharing with some more applications that I did find at the end of this presentation. But using your apps and using resources to help figure out what foods are in the middle, and then the portion sizes that go along with it are recommended. So for example, on that FODMAP A to Z, if you click on a yellow light food, it will tell you the portion size that might be too much and might cause an issue, which is really nice to know. And if you do still need help kind of navigating the yellow light foods, how much you should have, portion sizes, things are still kind of funky or muddied, contact Amanda Allen at amandaallen@hyvee.com to set up a discovery session today. So for some foods to watch for portion sizes, these are just some examples. It's not all of them, of course, but things like peanut butter, chickpeas, avocados, strawberries, cookies or like biscuits and celery are just some of the items that we want to watch out for portion sizes. So for example, if we talk about peanut butter in 2 tablespoons is okay to have throughout the day. But having as much of a half a cup of peanut butter for the day may be too much. So this is again where those come into play. And it's really going to help overall figure out how much you should have without having any issues. Okay. So just a little bit about snacking the right way. I want you guys to put some of your favorite snack items in the chat, just so that other people can also get some different ideas as well, and maybe you guys can share a little bit. But just snacking the right way, pairing a carbohydrate and a protein together helps keep us full throughout the day. I know sometimes you may have only a carb source like chips or cookies, and that makes you feel full for the time being, but you might feel hungry after about an hour. And this is when protein comes into play. Protein helps slow the digestion of carbs, and it's going to help us feel fuller for a longer amount of time, which, is what we want. I personally don't like feeling hungry after about an hour of either snacking or eating a meal as well. So let's just talk about some great FODMAP friendly snacks to keep with you, or make some ahead of time to prepare to bring with you in the car as well. And I'm going to check chat. Yes, chocolate is a favorite, especially dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is one of the best things ever. It's one of those little things that you like to keep with you all the time. Any questions so far? And then feel free to, if questions come up throughout the presentation, again, feel free to ask them in chat. You can have chocolate. It's one of those yellow light foods. Dark chocolate is going to be better than milk chocolate just because it has a lower sugar content. But I'll have to check to see how much for portion sizes, and then I can get back to you guys through email about what that portion size is. Okay, so these are just some snack ideas that I came up with in order for you to keep in your car so that you don't find yourself in that situation where, you're hungry and you don't have anything. So peanut butter and some FODMAP friendly crackers is the first idea that I came up with. Like we talked about just before this, peanut butter in too much can cause an issue, but in small amounts like 2 tablespoons, that's not going to be an issue at all. So some of the crackers that are great for the FODMAP diet are Good Thins. They're gluten-free and they're sea salt and pepper. And then there's also Milton's crackers, which are gluten-free, and there are crispy sea salt, and they're baked crackers. And they're usually made with like rice flour, and that's why they're FODMAP friendly. With peanut butter, a natural peanut butter is going to be much better compared to, I guess, like a more highly processed. So usually the natural peanut butters only have peanut butter, sea salt, and that's it. And it's really great because those are the only 2 ingredients that are in it, and you definitely know what those are. With natural peanut butters, they do have the tendency to separate, so the oil will come on top. Don't dump that oil off. That oil is just that peanut oil, and you might just need to mix it with a knife, or another tip is actually storing it upside down. That way the oil kind of goes all the way to the bottom, because sometimes that bottom can get a little bit drier. There are Jif to go containers as well. These ones only have peanut butter, sea salt, and then I want to say they have one more ingredient, but they are FODMAP friendly. And they're really great because they're little containers that you can just open up and then have with your crackers. And then that way you don't have to necessarily portion out your peanut butter, and you don't have to carry around a big jar with you. Let's move on. So moving on from that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about granola bars and some granolas. So these are some great options that are FODMAP friendly. We've got Nature Valley's Crunchy. This one is in a cinnamon flavor. Bobos, which I had never heard about before researching for this class, but this is also a great option that is really filling too. Amanda told me that they also have like little muffins that are filled with different jams. So that's also something to check out. I know they're sold at Hy-Vee. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but they are definitely at Hy-Vee in the health market. FODMAP, of course, is a go-to brand, is a staple brand, just because FODMAP is tested, again, they test all of their ingredients and all of their food to make sure that they are FODMAP friendly 100%. And this one is in almond coconut, and the almonds and the coconut are in small enough amounts where they shouldn't bother your stomach if you have one bar. I know portion sizes and kind of that control can be hard sometimes too. This Go Macro is another great bar that has a lot of protein and then also has a carb content to help you feel satiated and can be a great snack on the go. You can just keep these in your car. I like to keep snacks in my middle console. That way they're just not out or anything. That's where I like to store them. And then another one is Bare Naked. This one's in vanilla almond. And this is just a granola that you can either take with you and kind of just like grab out of the bag and munch, or you can have granola too with a yogurt, which we'll talk about different kinds of yogurts as well on future slides. But you know, if you want to carry a yogurt with you throughout the day, pull it out of your fridge, keep it with you on the go, this is a great option as well to mix that granola with the yogurt. So moving into yogurts, we can either do like almonds, like an almond yogurt or like a coconut yogurt. Green Valley has a lactose-free Greek yogurt, which I prefer Greek yogurt, and a lot of dietitians prefer Greek yogurt because it just has a higher protein content. So the fact that they have a lactose-free version is really great, and that the lactose is the main issue when it comes to FODMAP. Kite Hill also has a great option as well for a yogurt, and you can use an oat yogurt too, and you can pair these yogurts with things like berries, or you can do kiwis or grapes. These are some of the FODMAP friendly fruits that are available to mix with, but some other ones include like cantaloupe, pineapple, and then the blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries as well that are on screen. And we're actually going to be delving more into FODMAP friendly fruits and vegetables coming up here on Thursday. So I hope to see you guys then. And yeah, this is just a great option. I also put cheese on here in case you wanted to pair like a cheese stick with some of your fruit as well. Kind of just bring one on the go, have a container of blueberries or grapes that you prepared either the night before or the day of to bring with you. And when it comes to cheeses, we're going to want to pick more of a harder cheese just because it has a lower lactose content. So some of those include cheddars, Colby's, Swiss, mozzarella, and then Parmesan as well. So, you know, if you didn't want a sharp cheddar cheese stick, you could also have a mozzarella cheese stick as well. And then I see chat, so I'm gonna look real quick. Yes, so I do have some snack options for those who can't eat nuts. Nuts, of course, are a great option, but a lot of them are not FODMAP friendly. I think the only two are, it's pecans and peanuts. Peanuts are okay on the FODMAP diet, but you know, if there is an allergy, we do have some other options as well. And when it comes to yogurts too, you don't necessarily have to get a nut yogurt. You could look for things like those lactose-free yogurts where they just kind of pull off the lactose, but it is kind of dairy cow's milk. So some other options are some gluten-free pretzel sticks. And again, I put those Milton gluten-free crackers as well, just because they're multi-purpose. So yes, you could have them with peanut butter, but you can also have them with something like this, which is Green Valley's lactose-free sour cream. Again, you could either take the container with you or you could portion it. And it's a great option to have with you, if you are allergic to nuts or you don't really like peanut butter, or you're kind of missing that sour cream feeling and taste and everything. So gluten-free pretzels or some kind of gluten-free cracker with the Green Valley, I think is really great. And my screen, there we go. And then I did want to talk about some great protein options as well. Hard-boiled eggs are super easy and super cheap to make. I know inflation is a thing and everything's going up in price, but eggs tend to be the cheapest protein option. And so you can boil them up ahead of time and then just keep them in your fridge and then just take one on the go. You can pre-peel them even and keep them in containers just so that it's really easy to grab it and go. And then you could pair, eggs or any of these with any of the other carb options that we talked about. So if you want to pair it with fruit, or if you want to pair it with like a gluten-free cracker, or if you want to pair it, with anything that we've mentioned. P3, which is by Oscar Mayer, which you can make these on your own, but if you wanted a really quick option, they're a portable protein pack. And these are two that I found that are FODMAP friendly. And because they do have other ones, but a lot of them have like pistachios or other kind of nuts in them that aren't FODMAP friendly. So this one has turkey, ham, and cheddar, and then there's also turkey, bacon, and Colby Jack. So those are great to bring along with you too, because they have 14 or 15 grams of protein to help you feel full throughout the day as well. You could easily make these on your own. Just grab some turkey, ham, and cheddar and cut them up and put them in their own containers for you to take as well. And then also Starkist. And then Heidi has their own tuna brand. And then there's also like a Bumblebee brand where they're just little pouches of tuna and you can just open them and bring a spoon with you and then just kind of eat them on the go. I know it's really nice. I love tuna packets and they're so easy because you don't need a can opener for cans. And all you got to do is just bring a spoon with you, mix it up and you're good to go. Starkist and Bumblebee also have different flavors. So they have like a tomato basil. They have a lemon and ginger, I want to say. I really like spicy. So they have like a sriracha and a jalapeno. These are also good options. You would just need to make sure that these are FODMAP friendly. Tuna 100% is. It's just the extra ingredients that might go into some of the packets that are flavored. And we're going to talk about an app later where you can actually scan the barcode and it will tell you if it's FODMAP friendly or not, which is super cool. But again, just making sure that the tuna that you are picking, if it is flavored, just making sure that it's FODMAP friendly. Otherwise, just the regular ones in water are going to be a great option. Also, going back to kind of like dips with the Green Valley sour cream, and then also Kite Hill has a cream cheese. You can pair this with different kinds of vegetables that are FODMAP friendly. Broccoli in smaller portions is okay, but the other ones are pretty much good to go. So red bell pepper, carrots, if you want to roast some potatoes and have those with you to even dip them, radishes cut up, or like red cabbage, which again, in Thursday's class, we're going to be going over even more FODMAP friendly vegetables. These are some great options in order to dip. And then that way you have you're getting some of your veggie intake in as well throughout the day. I haven't tried the Kite Hill cream cheese, but I've tried other Kite Hill products like their yogurts, and I think that they're pretty good. Yes. So all bell peppers are okay. So I actually looked this up when I was researching my veggies and fruit. My veggies and fruit class. That's the word. And red bell peppers are okay, green bell peppers are okay, and then yellow and orange. All of them are good. If you don't like spicy, of course, don't go towards like jalapenos and stuff, but those are also fine as well. Yeah, I haven't tried their cream cheese, and I really want to because I have a dairy sensitivity and I really want to try it. A lot of their, the market has really come out with a lot of products to fulfill the needs of people that can't have certain products, which I'm very thankful for. But yes, on Thursday, we're going to be going over even more of these veggies and different ways to prepare them too. So not just having them raw, different ways to prepare them, as well as different ways to put them into foods. And then just some other ideas that I came up with that didn't really fit into any category is you can make like turkey and cheese pinwheels with like gluten-free tortillas. You can have like meat and cheese with dried cranberries. Dried cranberries are actually okay to have. You just have to watch that portion control, which I will be talking about on Thursday. Skinny Pop popcorn is also a great option that is shelf stable to keep in your car, as well as Boom Chicka Pop. And I made sure to look up these popcorns to make sure that they were a-okay, and they are. So both of these popcorns, Skinny Pop does have different flavors, and I think Boom Chicka Pop does too. I would recommend sticking to the popcorn that's just salted, like lightly salted. That way you don't run the risk of getting one with like cheese or any other kind of processed, not as friendly items on it. But Skinny Pop is great because they have the little bags, and it makes it nice and easy to bring along with you, and then you just got like a portion size right there. I also wanted to talk about this website that I found while researching for this class, and it's called Epicured. So these are pre-made snack items that you can actually order and get them delivered to your door. They are all pre-made foods that are FODMAP friendly. The whole website is FODMAP friendly, and they do have other they have like a gluten-free option, and they do cater towards other sensitivities and allergies as well. They have soups and entrees and everything like that, but of course this is snacking. So I looked at their snacks, and mainly they're like dessert-like snacks, which isn't necessarily, the best option, but if you wanted a dessert kind of snack here and there, this is an option that you might want to check out. They do have different food items like pumpkin bread. They have mocha espresso energy bites, coconut macaroons. They also have like lemon coconut energy bites. And these are some great options to try, but just make sure that you're staying satiated if you do try options like this. Just making sure you add like a protein with some of these snacks, especially like the pumpkin bread. So adding like a cheese stick, or even if you wanted to spread some of that like Kite Hill cream cheese on top, I think that would be pretty good, just to have a protein to help you feel fuller throughout the day. And finally, I just really wanted to talk about some more apps that I found. So first, I'm going to talk about the Fig Food Scanner and Discovery, and this is available for free for both Android and Apple. And you download it to your phone, and it's this on the top, the right-hand picture, kind of where it looks like an open fig. And you can actually scan the barcodes in the aisles of the food that you're looking at, and it will tell you if it's FODMAP friendly, if you kind of should use it with caution, or if it's not FODMAP friendly. And this is great for the elimination phase and the reintroduction phase, just because label reading can get hard sometimes, especially if there's a lot of ingredients in a food. And so this kind of takes away a lot of that stress, or kind of like the indecisiveness of, can I have this or can I not have this? It's a great app to have on your phone, just readily available, super convenient because it is on the phone. I also found Fast FODMAP Look Up and Learn, and that's this bottom picture with kind of like the dove. And this actually helps you practice identifying FODMAP foods by taking some quizzes. And so you can practice, if you're really into it and you really want to know, hey, I've gone through the elimination phase and I'm hitting the reintroduction phase and I can't have this. I want to find foods that I cannot have because I'm have a sensitivity to this FODMAP. Excuse me. So you actually get to practice, and family members can also do this as well to kind of help you, and kind of I guess moral support kind of thing. This app also has a food diary available, and so you can actually log your food, and it will tell you, if something bothers you, then you can look to see if you had something that could have bothered you, or like a portion size was too much, and that kind of thing. Spoonful is the final app that I wanted to talk about, and it's this exclamation point with like the egg as the dot. This is only available on mobile in Australia and the United Kingdom as of now, but they do have an online, like if you get on your computer, they do have an online website, and you can actually look up products that way to check if it's FODMAP friendly, and they do have like brand specific too. So like with FODMAP A to Z, it's not as brand specific. It's I mainly use it for like fruits and vegetables, just to see if it's okay or not okay, or kind of in the middle. And so this one is great because it does have brands, and it will tell you if it is, isn't, or in the middle as well. So these are some great options just to keep in mind as you traverse, or you help a significant other or a loved one traverse the FODMAP diet as well. So thank you guys so much for attending. We are going to have a food demo, like I said, on those granola bars, so stay tuned. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now as I kind of switch around here to get situated by the kitchen. I'm going to stop my video really quick and mute myself just so I can switch around real quick. Sorry, there we go. Okay, I wanted to make sure it was working. Sometimes my laptop computer is kind of funky. So let me chat. I will have to look up cooking recommendations, and I'll actually get back to you, Becky. I can't think of any off of the top of my head right now, but I will look, and then I'll email you kind of separately about some brands to try. And even if it's not like specifically a brand, some like specific pieces. So I'm not going to be able to, yeah, no problem. I have chat pulled up. I have not the best eyesight, so I might not be able to see it very well. So Amanda might have to answer some questions. Alrighty, guys. So today we are going to be making a granola recipe. And it's a granola bar recipe that is FODMAP friendly. It does have some ingredients in it that too much of it may cause some issues, but we'll talk about that as we go. So I just have a pan, and then I've got another pan right next to me. This is going to be for our dry ingredients, and the other one is just going to be for our wet ingredients to combine in a minute. So right here, I have a cup of oats that I'm going to throw in here. I also have a cup of coconut flakes that are not sweetened. The reason that we want unsweetened is just because that sweetener can cause issues. And coconut is also one that could cause some issues, such as having more than a half a cup a day. So just making sure that if you do have an issue with coconut, you can substitute things like ground pecans, or you can even take some dried bananas and kind of like grind them up in order to put them in here as well. I also have a whole bunch of different seeds that are FODMAP friendly. So I have a half a cup of sunflower seeds. I also have a half a cup of pumpkin seeds. And then I have a little under a half a cup, but about a half a cup of sesame seeds. And then I also have 1 tablespoon of flax seeds. And we're just going to combine these all in a pan together to kind of toast them up a little bit. So I'm just going to turn it right on up to medium high. And then just kind of get these toasted. And these ingredients, a lot of the seeds have great benefits such as like omega-3s. I know omega-3s are talked a lot about in like fish, but if you don't like fish or if you have like a fish allergy, seeds do have a lot in them. And this is great just for our good cholesterol as well as just kind of keeping us healthy throughout the day or throughout our lives really. So over in this pan, I'm going to have, which I'll set right here, I'm going to put a ½ cup of avocado oil. If you don't have avocado oil, that's okay. You can also use extra light olive oil, and this isn't going to give that olive oil taste. So the reason I'm just using avocado instead of olive, normal olive, is because it won't really have a taste to it, which is great because we're making granola bars, and I don't think you really want an olive oil taste to it. So for this, I'm putting ½ cup of avocado oil in here. And then I'm also going to take a ½ cup of pure maple syrup. So you want to use pure just because, again, it doesn't have all those added sugars. High fructose corn syrup can be an issue on the FODMAP diet, and so this just kind of eliminates that. If you don't have maple syrup, because maple syrup is FODMAP friendly, another great option is rice malt syrup, which I did not know. So I'm going to throw that in there, and then I'm also going to throw in a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm going to heat this over the stove just to kind of get everything combined, as well as get it to boil a little bit. That way it becomes a little bit thicker as well. So sometimes gas stoves take a little bit. So these are toasted. And oats are totally cool to have on the FODMAP diet. Rolled oats are actually preferred over like instant oats, just because they don't digest as fast. That's what I found when researching this. So we're just toasting this until it's about golden brown. It looks like they're starting to go. And then I have a clean bowl right next to me that I'm gonna dump our ingredients in. So we're gonna dump our toasted, coconut, and then also our oats and all of our seeds into here. And we're gonna mix it with our liquids. And these are great. These bars are great to have on the go, just because they're filled with all of those omega-3s like I was talking about. They also have a lot of fiber in them as well, just to kind of get our gut going and keep us regular throughout the day and throughout the week and throughout our lives. So I'm going to turn this off just because they're nice and toasty. Making sure not to burn them. I know sometimes that can happen. Okay. And then I'm just going to throw them all in here. Okay. And then I'm going to pull our liquid mixture over here just so that you guys can see a little bit better too. And I'm just going to whisk this together. Avocado oil is actually a great oil to have as well while you're baking or if you're roasting anything too, just because it has a higher smoke point. So the molecule doesn't turn into a worse molecule as easy. I think avocado's smoke point is right around 450, 475. So this is already bubbling. It does not take long at all to make this recipe. Yes, what Amanda has or what she's linking, Whole Lotta is so great and I love it. And I'm so glad that Hy-Vee is doing it because you get to find products that are dietitian approved on the website, and you can actually order straight from that website and go straight to your door. It is a fantastic program, and you know, even if you order a certain amount, it will give you like free shipping, and there's some great products on there. And it's nice to get new recommendations and some new kind of creativity of what's out there on the market, and try some new things as well. Alrighty, so this is pretty much good to go. Once it starts to boil, you can let it go for just a little bit, just for it to thicken just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna pour that right here. And so my mixture so far is not very exciting, but what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna mix this all together with my whisk that I already used. Mix it all together just so it's all incorporated, so that you don't have any dry oats or dry seeds, to make kind of like a moist granola bar. Okay. And so let me show you guys. We've got just a really colorful mixture and just a lot of components with great fiber and those omega-3s, like I mentioned. And I'm going to move this out of the way. And then I have a baking sheet just lined with parchment paper that I'm going to take my mixture and pour onto the baking sheet. So now that it's kind of like a lump on the baking sheet, I'm actually going to take another piece of parchment paper, and this is actually how I'm going to press down the mixture. So this is a great, before I start doing this is a great option if you don't want to get your hands sticky, and if you don't want it to stick to anything, you can kind of press it down with another piece of parchment paper. And you're gonna just want to press it into a thin layer, just like so that you have really thin bars. And then once you do have it all kind of pressed out and ready to go, you're gonna pop it in the freezer for at least 20 minutes. And these bars, like I said, are great too because they actually stay really well in the freezer. So if you just want to like prepare these ahead of time, and if you just want to keep them in your freezer and then just pop them out whenever you want them, that's a great option to have. And honestly, I might start doing it because you always then have the granola bar ready to go, and you know that it'll work for you. So I've just pressed these out just so that you get kind of like a really thin pancake shape, and you can shape them into kind of like a square too. So I'm gonna pop these in the freezer, and then I'm gonna magically pull out them already frozen. Hold on one second. All right, so I want you guys to pretend like 20 minutes have gone by. And I have just a great sheet of granola. And so I'm just gonna cut these into bars. You can use either a spatula or a knife, and they cut really easy. And then you can honestly, this serves 15. So you're gonna wanna cut it into about, a 4x4, just so that you have even options or even bars. And so that you know that you're not getting too much coconut, so that it doesn't upset your stomach or anything. have a plate here. And you can just set them on here however you like. And they're really easy, really simple bars to make. And you can, like I said, you can keep them in your freezer for however long and everything. So I've got some bars right here. These ones are a little bit smaller than what I would normally cut them at. Yeah, they look super good. They look super, super, super good. I'm going to be filling this entire plate full of them, and I'm excited to have them and kind of have a snack and feel satiated, right? Because there's a lot of protein and fats from the seeds, as well as some carbs from the oats and the coconut as well. So that's all I have today. Thank you guys so much for coming today, and I hope to see you on Thursday. Becky, I will get back to you, like I said, with those cookie recommendations as well. And I hope you guys have a great day and try this recipe, and hope it works well for you. So thank you guys for spending time with me, and I will see you hopefully on Thursday. Thank you. Thank you.